The topic for today is using tools, at least for web development, is using tools that make your life easier cheating. I know that might kind of sound like a little bit of an odd topic, but let me explain how I got here. When I started doing web development, I wanted to code everything from scratch. And deep down inside, I knew that that might not be the best idea because web development is hard. There's a lot of things to learn, and there's so many different technologies that you're never going to be really excellent at all of them. And the reason that I wanted to learn how to code is because I did not have as much control as I wanted using things like WordPress. WordPress is one of those things where it sort of bottlenecks you into a certain way of doing things, and you don't have full control over your website. I mean, you have a certain amount of control, but not like fine-grained control. And I am the kind of person who I like having that fine-grained control. So, I was working with WordPress and I wasn't able to get the results that I wanted. And now I'm coming to realize it was partially because I didn't understand it. But then I started learning web development. I started with learning PHP, which is not the best place to start. Long story. I love PHP. I'm not saying that. Anyways. But I wasn't getting that fine-grained control, so I started to learn web development, and I just learned it all from the ground up. And I find myself coming back to working with these tools that make my life easier. I started working with Laravel and back onto WordPress, and I understood them better. And now that I have a better understanding of them, I find myself using these tools. And is that wrong? Like, should I be coding things from scratch? Or should I be using some of these pre-made tools? And I realized that the problem with coding things from scratch is that there are, millions of web developers out there, and some of the best developers in the world have put hours and hours and hours into building these tools and making them the best things that they can be, building them up so that they're secure and they're easy to use. And when I started learning web development from scratch and wanting to do everything from scratch, I was basically spitting in their faces and saying I could do it better. And the truth is that even the best developers in the world are not going to be able to build things as high quality and secure and good as some of the tools that are out there, like WordPress. And the reason is because of the amount of time that people have invested in these things. I mean, think about it. Maybe hundreds or thousands of developers have worked on WordPress and trying to make it better. And these people are good. They're not like, they're some of the best people in the world. And if I was going to try and do what they did, it would take me thousands of hours. And, there's just so many things to think about. There's the user interface. There's the JavaScript, the front end side, the back end side, the all of the the different nuances of it. And that's, you just can't do all of that. There's so many things, email, user authentication. There's just tons of it. And so I went on kind of this journey, I went on this journey of, I want to do it myself because I don't have enough control. And then I came back to working with the same tools that I was working with before I even knew how to code. And I think that that's not wrong. Using a tool that somebody invested their blood, sweat, and tears into to make it great, and lets everyone use it essentially for free because of open source, like that is a good thing. It gives all of that time and effort is put into these tools that, you know, I can utilize. And so my mindset has shifted a little bit. I'm trying to use less of my own code and use as many tools built by other people as I can, and where I need the fine-grained control to get done what I need to get done, I try and do it myself, but only when I need to. The minimum amount of code that I put into it. And that just is a testimony to the power of some of these things. You know, most people, they can pick up something like WordPress and build a blog. And that's crazy. Like, almost anybody can do it. I mean, if you have, you know, a little bit of cash in your pocket to pay for servers and stuff, and you know how to click a mouse, you can build a blog. And, you know, and it's good. And it's not you know, the amount of knowledge that you have to make that happen is fairly minimal. It's crazy. So, and that's great. And I do not think that removes a web developer's job, because there will always be the people who, number one, need to build these tools like WordPress, who need to build plugins for, you know, those use cases that that WordPress doesn't, you know, work in. So, and then there's also going to be the people who, you know, they could set up a site, or they could just hire someone to do it. And, you know, if you can install a WordPress site, then you have a job. It's, you know, it's pretty cool, to be honest. I still am going to revert to using things more like Laravel, because I like the amount of control that I get in that. So, and that's kind of where the fun is, you know, building something kind of from scratch. Anyways, so that's something that I just wanted to say, is that, you know, using tools I do not think is cheating at all. I don't think it's cheating at all. It's like, you know, our entire society has been built on standards. You know, the person who invented the screws and bolts, like the little hardware screws and bolts, it's based on a standard of thread sizes and, you know, things like that, so that other manufacturers could make things that adapt to that thread size. And, you know, if you have a standard of a type of way that websites are built, then it's easier to make tools for it, and everybody's lives get better because of the standard. And I believe WordPress is that standard, to be honest. I mean, there's other things that, you know, are good tools too, like you know, Shopify and Squarespace, but they're not WordPress. It's a little bit of a different deal. Those are all proprietary and things like that. So, anyways, there was just my thoughts on using tools to build websites. Is it cheating? If you're a web developer and all you do is WordPress, is that cheating? Are you like not a real web developer because of that? It's not true. That's not true. You are, if you do anything on the web and you build a website, you are a web builder, you're a web developer, you're developing a website. What platform you use to do that is kind of irrelevant. At least that's my take on it. But learn to code. Do that. It's fun, and you'll be able to control your website a lot better. And when I started to learn how to code, I understood more about the tools that I was using, and I really view that as a very, very good thing. It's made my life a whole lot better. Anyways, thanks for listening. If you enjoy content like this, please subscribe. My rants and ramblings, so hopefully things will get a little bit more streamlined as I go. This is just, random thoughts in the car. So, all right, well, I'm taking off. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.